Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final morning kick of the Cowboy Christmas week. It is the 3rd of July. We are broadcasting from the Fort Worth Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. We are presented by Runyon's Fine Furniture and Justin Boots. And today we are talking about what is unequivocally, for me, my favorite rodeo outside of the NFR, and that is the Calgary Stampede, which begins July 4th. It runs through July 13th, and I'm just going to talk for a little bit about why I love the Calgary Stampede so much, because I think it is pretty close to the perfect rodeo in terms of it's the perfect length. It's 9 days long or 10 days long. It's a good solid length. It doesn't go on too long where people lose interest or anything like that. You can stay locked in every single day. The pool system makes it incredibly easy to understand. After every pool that ends, you know exactly who is advancing in every single event. And then you have Championship Sunday where you narrow it down from 10 to 4 in the showdown round. And it's a 4-man showdown, winner take all. And I think the winner take all format is huge. That's a big thing to be my favorite rodeo, because in order to be my favorite rodeo, I think it has to be easy for both longtime fans and people who grew up rodeoing. It has to be easy for them to understand who wins, but also new fans, especially in a rodeo like Calgary, where you get tens of thousands of people there every single day. And half of those people every single day, it might be their first rodeo or their second rodeo, or they only go to Calgary. And so it has to be something where the stakes build over time, where you know, hey, if this guy finishes first today in this pool in the tie-down roping, he advances. We'll see him again on Sunday. He's moving on, just like any other tournament. Again, I think for fans to understand, for the common fan to understand, for the other sports fan to understand, you need to have that tournament style. And I think we've seen that with Fort Worth, San Antonio, Houston, Calgary, you name it. Almost all of the biggest rodeos in the PRCA now are tournament style. And is that the best, most fair system to determine a champion? Maybe not. I have no idea, because you could easily make the argument that 2-head average, 3-head average, 4-head average, whatever it is the most pure way to crown a champion. But we are as much in the entertainment business in the world of rodeo as we are the sports business. And I think for entertainment purposes, how could you not love what happened last year with Cade Bruno and Zeke Thurston, judging snafus aside, where they both go 90 and they got to have a ride-off where they both go 90 again. And you know it is mano-y-mano, winner take all, $50,000 and the bronze, your name etched into Calgary Stampede history. That also brings me to another point. It is such a historic event, and you can feel the history there, and it feels big and it feels historic even through the TV. You get a sense in the broadcast, hey, something awesome is happening today. Something special is happening today. This is a big sporting event that I am about to watch. And again, you can feel that through the TV. You can feel that you're in Canada. You can feel that you're in Alberta. It just feels like such a distinctly Canadian Calgary event. It feels like the city itself, and you can tell how proud the city is of it and how proud the country of Canada is of the Calgary Stampede. And also the last thing, well, a couple other things, just the quality of competition. I mean, you get NFR qualifiers and CFR qualifiers coming together on a massive stage. It's huge for the world standings. It's huge for the Canadian standings. It's huge for the prestige of a Canadian cowboy, especially, to be able to call yourself a Calgary Stampede winner. And again, they do a great job on the broadcast, building those stakes, building those moments, introducing you to the competitors, introducing you to why Calgary is special to them, why they want to win. And it doesn't take too long. It's not 3 or 4 minute features. It's boom, we're snapping in for 30 seconds. Zeke Thurston's up. And here's why it means something that Zeke Thurston is a multi-time Calgary Stampede champion. Here's what it means to him. Here's what it means to his family. Here's what it means to his legacy. I think all of those things are important. And I think the Calgary Stampede television broadcast does such an incredible job being able to tell you those stories very quickly, but not take you out of the moment. And also, it just looks pretty. The broadcast is really high quality. It's everything a rodeo broadcast should be. Obviously, if you have Jeff and Butch there, it's going to be a first-class production, because just like the NFR, they do an awesome job building up the stakes, building up the moment, telling you what it means, why it matters, what they saw, what to expect that day. All of those things add it to just making it a more special event and feeling that it is a special event on television. And everyone from the top down, from Jeff and Butch as the main play-by-play and color guy, but Janie does a great job on the barrel racing, telling those stories. Felipe on the tie-down roping. Felipe is electric when it comes to the tie-down roping. He loves that stuff more than anyone loves anything, and you can feel that through the screen. He gets so fired up for those big runs, and there's a lot of big runs. It's a fast setup in all of the timed events in the steer wrestling and the tie-down roping in Calgary. So when someone is 6'9", you will know it, because Felipe will love it, and he will tell you why he loves it. And that's awesome. You have Luke Branquino on the steer wrestling, who does a great job. You have Scott on the bull riding, who's won that rodeo multiple times, telling you exactly what he's seeing. And like I mentioned with the tie-down roping, it's really fast, but you get awesome scores in the bareback riding, in the saddle bronc riding, in the bull riding. Again, it feels like the intersection of the Canadian finals rodeo and the national finals rodeo, two obviously incredibly prestigious events. And you can tell through the competition, you can tell through the excitement, you can tell through the fans, because they're locked in. If it's their first rodeo or if they're a long-time Stampede watcher. And the last thing that I'll talk about is just that broadcast. There's such a great rhythm to it. It moves fast, but not too fast. It's exciting, but not too exciting. Obviously, sans Felipe sometimes, but it feels to me a lot like, I always compare it to a golf tournament, where if you have a big golf tournament, the US Open, the Masters, whatever it may be, you can just throw it on in the background and you can be paying attention to it. You can be listening to it. And then when something really pops, you can look up and you can watch it. And then you're all of a sudden very interested in what is going on up there. Then you can see the replay and see what happens and go back to what you're doing. Or it's like a baseball game. But I like the golf tournament comparison, because like a golf tournament, the Calgary Stampede really unfolds in front of you before your eyes, where every day in the pool play or in the pool rounds is a new adventure, a new story, a new who's going to advance, a shuffling in the standings. And I think all of that make it even more gratifying, that if you watch every single day from start to finish, you're going to see something new, you're going to see something exciting. But that ending becomes so much more valuable if you see that, hey, Cade Sonier barely advanced, but then he rode for 93 points on Virgil to win this thing. Those stories contextualize the rodeo so much more. And so I think it's an awesome product, an awesome broadcast, an awesome group of cowboys and cowgirls, an awesome group of bucking stock. I didn't even mention that you get those great Calgary horses there every year. And so I just think, I've said this for the last 5 years, that if you want to show someone what the best of the best in rodeo is like, or what rodeo could be, or what every big rodeo could and should look like in the future, I think you look no further than the Calgary Stampede. It is high stakes. It feels high stakes. It is high level action, and it feels like high level action. And I absolutely love this rodeo. I will be watching it every single day, even when I am no longer doing this. So I know the hat says United States Cowboy. I know the channel says US Cowboy, but my favorite regular season rodeo, for my money, it's not even really close, is the Calgary Stampede. And I just think it is, like I said, a first-class event from start to finish. and it feels like a massive sporting event. And I always love when the rodeo feels like a massive sporting event. That's why I love the NFR so much as well. So I can't wait for it to get started. I can't wait to follow it from start to finish. And I can't wait to pop on here on No Huddle Rodeo on the morning kick and be able to tell stories like the ones that are going to unfold from my favorite rodeo. So an awesome, awesome 2 weeks coming up between the finishing up of the 4th of July run and then going up north to Calgary. I'm fired up for it. I hope you are too. I hope this got you fired up for it. And we'll see you one more time this afternoon for the final No Huddle Rodeo of the week on US Cowboy. Thank you to Runyons. Thank you to Justin Boots. And thank you to everybody from the top down who helps put on the Calgary Stampede and helps make that rodeo special. We will see you this afternoon, and then we will see you next week on the US Cowboy YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me.